I'm going to be drawing a picture, and as I do, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to review 3 stylus pens from the Friendly Swede. First of all, we have this 5.5-inch stylus pen. This is a fine tip stylus. The tip's a little bit smaller than your standard stylus. It's still the same kind of material. It's a rubber tip. It's kind of soft. Here's the same thing, but it's longer. It's 7.3 inches. It's the length of a pencil, so it has the same kind of feel as a pencil. Same thing though, a fine tip. This third one here is a 7.3 inch also, but it's a microfiber tip instead of rubber. It has a microfiber cloth on the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a picture and use these 3 pens and kind of talk about them a little bit as I do, and then at the end I will give a full review of each of the pens. Okay, so I'm ready to start the illustration here, and I've just picked a real simple composition of these peppers. I thought it was colorful. It looked like it would be fun to do. And I'm not going to take you through the whole illustration process. It would just take too long on video. So what I'll do is sketch a little bit and then come back and show you the progress as I go along. Alright, I'm going to start with the 5.5-inch fine tip stylus. And I'm just basically going to start by sketching out the shape of these peppers, just really rough to begin with, just to get their placement on the page. And I do have a camera between myself and my iPad here, so kind of have an obstacle in the way, but I'll see what I can do. So I'm just basically, like I say, going to sketch out basic placement of these peppers here. So this stylus is a good length. It's longer than the standard stylus that you usually get. I think those are about, I don't know, 3.5 inches. The Friendly Swede does have that length, I believe, but when I got these pens, I wanted to try the longer one, the longer two, just because I thought it would feel more like using an actual pencil or brush or whatever. This pen here, the tip, being that it's rubber or whatever that material is, it actually slides very well across the surface of the iPad. I've had some stylus pens where they kind of skip along the surface, or you have to push kind of hard, and it almost seems like they're sticking to the surface, for lack of a better way to describe it. It almost seems like they stick to the surface when you try to sketch. But this pen, I don't know if it's the size of the fine tip or what, but it actually glides pretty smoothly across the surface, and I really don't have to push hard at all. And what I'll do here is, like I say, just be really rough at first, and then I'll go in later and start cleaning up, adding detail, making it look a little bit better. But I'm basically just wanting to get the general placement of each one of these first. Okay, so there we have our basic outline. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch to the 7.3-inch microfiber tip. And I'm going to go ahead and start filling in color. And this pen here is actually very smooth. It glides so easily across the surface because of the cloth. And another thing I like about the length of this pen is you can pull your hand way back, and you can kind of get that motion as if you were painting, making strokes with a paintbrush. Okay, so we've kind of got the basic start here. Start putting in a little bit of shadows where they generally go. And with a illustration like this, I can start out pretty rough, and that's the great thing about drawing digitally, is you can start out pretty rough and go back and refine later on once you get the basic colors and shapes in and shadows and highlights and all that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to this longer fine tip stylus. I use this one mostly when I draw. I love the length of this. It feels like a pencil, and the fine tip is great for doing details and things like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and work on this a little bit and start putting in some detail, cleaning it up, and we'll come back in a minute and show you the progress. Okay, so here's the progress to this point. As you can see, I've gone in and cleaned these up a bit, added some highlighting and some details and things like that. So they're starting to look a little bit better. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the microfiber tip pen, and I'm going to go in with what I've done here with these and start shading these colors together, start blending them. And I think this pen is going to be the best for that because it has such a smooth feel, like I said earlier, almost like a paintbrush. So I think it works really good for blending the colors. Okay, so I'm just adding some final highlights here, finishing these up. And this is not so much a photorealistic painting as it is just an artistic interpretation. Alright, so I'll just finish up a few more highlights, and I think I'm going to put a background in here, and it should be pretty much finished at that point. Okay, so there we have the finished illustration, and what I'm going to do now is just give a recap of the pens. To create this illustration, I used the 7.3 inch fine tip stylus. I also used the 5.5 inch fine tip stylus, and I used the 7.3 inch microfiber tip stylus. I've used a lot of pens since I started drawing on the iPad, a lot of stylus pens. It took me a while to really find some that I liked. I've used the cheap plastic ones that you get for free. I've also used more expensive ones that I've paid $50 for. They operate with batteries, and I didn't like those at all. Of all the pens I've used, these ones from the Friendly Swede are probably my favorite. I really like this fine tip stylus. It's just more accurate. I like the length. You just have the control as if you were drawing with a pencil. The micro fiber tip stylus here, it is the fatter tip, but you do have that feel as if you're painting. If you've ever used a fan brush, it feels very much like you're painting with a fan brush. When you order these, you actually get them in 3 packs. So you get 3 pens, you get 2 lanyards, and what these do is you attach one end to the pen here, and the other end plugs right into your headphone jack, your earbud jack of your device, and that keeps your stylus pen attached to your device so you won't lose it, keep track of it. It also comes with 3 replacement tips, and then it comes with a cleaning cloth. Cleaning cloth actually works very well. So as far as the replacement tip, I just wanted to show you this real quick. You just simply unscrew this, pull that off, and it just pops right back on. Screw it back on, and it's very easy to replace the tips. These pens are aluminum. They're very well balanced, have a good feel to them, feel like good quality. So for $12 for 3 of them and all the extra stuff, you just can't beat the value. And of all the pens I've tried, all the stylus pens I've tried, these are really the ones that I've come to like the most. Okay, so that will do it for my review of the pens from the Friendly Swede. If you'd like to order these pens, you can get them on thefriendlyswede.com. Also, if you'd like to see more of my work, you can go to sketchclub.com and you can search my username. It's DAVJAM67, and I will have these addresses up at the end here of the video so you can write them down. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it.